The world watched in awe as white smoke billowed from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel on May 8, 2025. A new pope had been chosen. The conclave had made history. For the first time, an American would lead the Roman Catholic Church. Cardinal Robert Bob Prevost, a Chicago native, took the name Pope Leo XIV. This election marked a significant moment for both the Church and the United States. Never before had an American ascended to the papacy. Many saw this election as a sign of the United States' growing influence on the world stage. However, the election was also met with trepidation by some, who feared the potential for conflict between the Vatican and the politically charged atmosphere of American politics. Leo XIV's election came at a time of great global uncertainty. The world was still grappling with the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, which had exacerbated existing social and economic inequalities. Political polarization was on the rise in many countries, fueling nationalism, xenophobia, and authoritarianism. The election of an American pope into this tumultuous landscape raised many questions. Would Leo XIV use his platform to advocate for American interests? Or would he embrace a more global perspective, seeking to bridge divides and promote peace? The world waited with bated breath to see what direction this new shepherd would lead his flock. To understand Pope Leo XIV's potential impact, one must first understand the man himself. Born Robert Prevost in the heartland of America, he dedicated his life to serving others. He felt a strong calling to the priesthood from a young age and joined the Augustinian order. His path, however, led him far beyond the familiar streets of Chicago. He dedicated 20 years of his life as a missionary and bishop in Peru. This experience profoundly shaped his worldview, fostering a deep understanding and empathy for the struggles of the poor and marginalized. His time in Peru also instilled in him a deep appreciation for diversity and cultural exchange. He became fluent in Spanish and conversant in several other languages, reflecting his commitment to bridging cultural divides. This ability to connect with people from different backgrounds would prove invaluable in his role as a global leader. His dedication and leadership qualities did not go unnoticed. He was eventually called back to Rome, where he served in a key position under Pope Francis, further shaping his understanding of the Church's global mission. Throughout his journey, from the streets of Chicago to the halls of the Vatican, Leo XIV carried with him a profound commitment to social justice, compassion, and service to the poor. These values would come to define his papacy. Pope Leo XIV inherited a world grappling with numerous challenges. The second term of Donald Trump's presidency in the United States had exacerbated global tensions. Trump's America First policies had alienated many allies, while his rhetoric and actions fueled nationalism and division. The rise of right-wing populism, not just in the US but globally, had contributed to a climate of fear and intolerance. Migration crises, fueled by conflict and climate change, were met with increasingly hostile responses in many wealthy nations. The gap between the rich and the poor continued to widen, both within and between countries, leading to increased resentment and instability. The Catholic Church itself was not immune to these divisions. While Pope Francis had made significant strides in emphasizing a more inclusive and compassionate church, he also faced internal resistance from conservative factions. The American Catholic Church in particular was deeply polarized, with a growing conservative wing often at odds with Pope Francis's progressive views on issues such as immigration, climate change, and economic inequality. Into this fractured world stepped Pope Leo XIV, an American with a truly global perspective. His election, while unexpected, offered a glimmer of hope. Could he, with his unique background and experiences, bridge the divides that plague both the world and the Church? Pope Leo XIV's election sent ripples of surprise and anticipation throughout the world. His personal history, marked by his time in Peru and his commitment to social justice, stood in stark contrast to the prevailing political climate in the United States. This contrast sparked both hope and apprehension. Many saw in Leo XIV a potential bridge between the United States and the rest of the world. His global perspective, honed through his experiences in South America and the Vatican, offered a stark contrast to the inward-looking policies of the Trump administration. His fluency in multiple languages, including Spanish, symbolized a willingness to engage with the world on its own terms, rather than imposing an American-centric view. His focus on the poor and marginalized resonated deeply with people in the global South, who had often borne the brunt of global inequality and climate change. His election raised hopes that the Catholic Church under his leadership would become a stronger advocate for social justice and a more vocal critic of policies that exacerbated poverty and inequality. However, Leo XIV's papacy would not be without its challenges. His progressive views, particularly on issues such as immigration and economic justice, were likely to put him at odds with the Trump administration and its supporters. His election also exposed the deep divisions within the American Catholic Church, which was increasingly split between a conservative hierarchy and a more liberal laity. How Leo XIV navigated these complex political and theological waters would determine whether he could truly live up to his potential as a bridge builder, reconciling not just the United States with the world but also the Catholic Church with its own internal divisions. If you liked this video, please like, share and subscribe to The Silent Observer for more daily news.